So anyways, just over here at the speed jump spot with the couple of cars. We've got the Arrma Big Rock, and we also have the Sentin. I do have the DB Pro, but the DB Pro is definitely suffering some issues. So I will tell you that the day is kind of like iffy, because when I first came out with the Sentin, the wind wasn't like here. And then by the time I was done with the Sentin, I'm like looking for the remote. You'll see it in the video. I'm looking for the remote, and I realized I left the remote at the house. So I went back to the house, made myself some coffee, and then from that time on, the weather started to change. It actually looked like when I was at the speed jump spot, which is where I am right now, it looks like the weather was going to get worse. But then I went to the house, grabbed fresh batteries for the remote, grabbed the remote, made coffee, and by the time I was done with that, came out and the sun was out. But now it's back to overcast, and sun is kind of like here and there, and it's just kind of like windy. So I'm just going to flip this thing. So who we got here? We already got people here? You got to be kidding me. Buggies and Truggies, what's going on? Emily, what's going on? Chef, what's going on, guy? KGM, what's happening, man? Thompson, what's going on, guy? I'm just sitting in the Jaguar right now. Got the Big Rock right there. It's kind of, was getting hot. Getting hot, and I ripped through a pack, so I figured after I ripped through that pack, just give the thing some time to cool off. I went ahead and grabbed a 100C pack, and we're going to see if I can go any faster than I was going on the, 80C pack. So a whole 20C more, and I think 500 more milliamps. I think the pack that's in it right now is a Z7100C pack, and what was in it was an Ovonic Rebel Series 6580C, which those batteries, I gotta tell you, those Ovonic Rebel Series batteries, the Ovonic Air batteries, all those Ovonic packs that I've got, with the exception of, I think, 5200s in the beginning, the Ovonic Air, I think 5200s or something like that, 5,000 something, I don't know what it was. But Gus's Custom Creations, he had some issues with that particular battery, and I think for some strange reason, just that one pack was having issues. But I do think I do have 5,200 packs, and I've never had issue. I mean, batteries are, I don't know, man. Batteries are batteries. You get good ones, you get bad ones. Doesn't matter, I think, who you're getting your batteries from. So, what are you guys up to? Anything? Whoops. Robert Gibson, what's going on, guy? Lauren, what's going on, man? Graduation from grade 9. Wow, that's crazy. You know what's messed up, man? Crack, what's going on, guy? All right, I'm just going to ask you a question. Now, granted, it's because it's your kids, graduation kind of stuff, but the only time that I remember there being any graduation was high school graduation and college graduation. And I never made it to any of them. I don't know. I think maybe because if you have kids now, having those graduations is kind of cool, but, I'm still that old school kind of, you got to tune your kids up when they need a tune up. You know what I'm saying? My kids know. I'm gonna tell you a story. This is actually a funny one. How many people here? Anybody gonna call DSS on me or whatever that thing is? I think everybody in here is safe. So, my daughter, my youngest, she would always have a tendency to take the seatbelt and pull it off of her and just have the lap belt, right? So in the back of like Camaros and Trans Ams, Firebirds, it's all the same thing, right? The back seats, granted, first generation cars, I do believe that there's a little bit more leg room, but once you went beyond that, once you went to second, third, fourth, fifth generation cars, it's like the back seat is kind of pointless, right? But I'd have the kids back there and, they'll be safe. But she would always take that stupid that shoulder belt off. And I'm like, you got to leave that on just in case, like, if I step on the brakes real hard, you know, your face is going to hit the back of that seat. And I had her touch it, and I go, you feel the back of that seat, right? That's plastic. That's not like plush, supple, you know, comforter material. Your face hits that, you're gonna feel it. So, being the dad that I am, you know, the same dad that said when my daughter got basically a line drive soccer ball kicked right to her face and she got a bloody nose, what does dad say? You needed that. She loves me. I love her. The whole thing, man. I got so many good stories with that kid. But so anyways, back to the story about her taking that shoulder thing off. I noticed that she took it off. We came up to a stop sign and she was kind of leaning forward. I don't remember what she was doing, but I saw she kind of was leaning forward a little bit. So I tapped the brake. When I tapped the brake, what do you think happened? Well, absolutely, because there was no shoulder thing. You know, it's not like it stopped her, so her face ate the back of the seat. Yes, I did that to my youngest daughter. Yep, it's all good, man. She's 22 now. When I'm in the nursing home, I'm sure she'll pay me a visit with like a hammer or something. I don't know. Nah, but you like with my daughter, man, I always treated her sensitively rough, I think you want to call it. Sensitively rough. Had to. Live chat. I just want to make sure. Steve Q, you know it, guy. Brake tap, you know it. Absolutely. Robert Gibson, yep. I did that too. That shoulder part annoyed me so much. Yep. I know, man. Crack, appreciate that, man. Waiting for the hammerade to come. Gonna be a day or two. Nice. You know, Mir, I kind of want to get a gauge of what people really think about the hammerade, because it's obviously a very specific kind of vehicle. You could do things to it to modify it. It's almost like, you know, people buying the what's that thing there? The Fire Team, the thing that I got from Cali. So the Fire Team, it's kind of like a very specific tuned vehicle, even though you can tune it and do stuff with it. But I think one of the things that was kind of odd, but I guess people are overlooking it because they can put true bead locks on. And I think maybe that was the thought, because it's got a 12 millimeter hex. It just felt like when, I think it was, I forget who took the hex off. Was it A-Main? I think A-Main did a video on that. I'm not positive. But somebody had taken the wheel off and saw the hex and realized it was 12 and was kind of like, kind of wish that it was more beefier. You know what I mean? Just seems kind of weird to have a 12 millimeter hex. So, but maybe it won't even matter. Stafford Lackey, what's going on, guy? Tough love, you know it, right? Only guy would do that? Yeah. Guy live, right? No notice? Yeah, that's what happens, man. I'm just sitting over here at the speed jump spot right now, having my coffee, just watching the weather roll by, letting the truck kind of cool down. So, like I said, I do enjoy this car. I did like a little intro talking about it. I think it was when I first left earlier. It was like, I'm not, like, I don't know, man. It's just this car. I think it's just this car. I'm not, you know, like that four-door sedan, boat-riding kind of person, but this car just feels a little different. You know what I mean? Like, granted, it's just, you know, it's just a supercharged V8, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I brought it back from the dead. I saved it from going to the crusher. You know, I see me basically passing on this car to one of the kids. You know, I think I'm going to keep it unless I wrap it around a tree or a pole or something. I think I'm going to keep it for as long as it survives. I do have to get a radio in this thing, though. Because, oh, I switched it. Wrong. I do want to get a radio in this thing because I need tunes, man. Sometimes you just have to have tunes. So let's see. There we go. Where we go? Yeah. Like 9? Yeah, YouTube, right? What about Big Black? We won't talk about Big Black right now. Big Black is, I did something very bad to Big Black. I have been neglecting for the past 2 years. I neglected oil changes and fuel filters. I should never say that. So what I do possibly think may have happened when I took off the primary fuel filter out, which is the one that's on the fuel rail, that filter was actually collapsed. That is not a good sign. I had crud in the fuel. Nothing seemed to go all the way forward, but that's not to say some type of water may not have or may have gotten past. I do believe I've got some injector issues. It's the weirdest thing what Big Black is doing right now. So there was a wet day that we had recently where it was extremely not humid, but it was very like driving down the highway. I had to have the windshield wipers on full, even though it wasn't, well, not full, but it couldn't be on the fastest delay. It had to be on slow. So I was thinking like the moisture content, the fact that I was running on fumes, and for some odd reason, Big Black was giving me zero issue. I mean, it was literally lighting them up when I didn't expect it to. So getting onto the highway, you get on the on-ramp and you just motoring, and I looked in the rearview mirror and I noticed cars were coming, and I'm like, crap. And I just kind of like gave it some gas, and it wanted to go. And I'm like, all right. So I just boned it. And the thing just lit them up, just like Big Black always did. And I mean, I felt shocked. Went all the way down, I passed a couple of gas stations. I was basically trying to get to the last gas station that I knew. And it had a good diesel price, which I can't believe I'm saying that. $7 a gallon is a good diesel price. So it's like $7 a gallon. So I put $100 in, which only gave it a quarter of a tank. So the entire trip all the way down to my son's shop, I felt like I was wasting my time. The truck was absolutely just lighting them up. Be at a stop sign, just kind of throw my foot onto the floor, and literally the truck would just go. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. The one time I finally back off and say, I need a Ford level scanner to go ahead and check. Even though I've got my Autel. My Autel does basically everything, but I was thinking for some reason, maybe the Ford level scanner would see something that my Autel isn't. Plus the fact that the guy that was going to look at it, it's what he does is his bread and butter used to be the 6.0s and the 6.4 diesels. So I figured, it'd be good because he'd get a chance to look at it, and he'll see the normal running values, and hooked it up to the computer. And because there was nothing askew, everything was... The truck wasted my time. So after we left on the highway back, randomly out of nowhere, it started to turn into a better day. Truck turned to a piece of crap again. So I'm semi-lost with my truck right now, trying to figure this out. I will figure it out. But what I was thinking, this long-winded, conversation, what I was thinking is there is the possibility that I've got a couple injectors going out. The mileage that I'm at right now with Big Black, it's 212 or something thousand miles. It's not a lot of miles for a diesel, but when you neglect things like oil and fuel filters for especially these 6.0s, it's pertinent that you keep up on maintenance, and I may have wiped out a couple injectors. So I'm still messing around with Big Black, man. It is a great truck. I've got no, I mean, it's letting me down now, but that's because of me. I can't blame that truck. I can't blame Ford. I can't be angry. You know, I can't, like, you know, blame, like, these RC junk cars. I can't blame the companies for that. I don't know. I actually can blame the companies for that, but I don't know, man. Big Black is a thorn in my side at the moment. Anyway, how's your Mustang doing? What do we got here? 30 stinking people. You guys are not. Oh, come on. 30 people and only 15? What's up, man? You gotta be kidding me. I'm over here killing myself at the jump spot, getting content. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just having a blast. So, anyways, you can see I got the door panel off right there. Trying to do some diag on the wiring. The wiring right here, I found there was a little bit of an issue. So that's why the connector's hanging out right now. So what I got to do is I got to trace the wires. I got to pin them out, making sure that there's no other issues going to that module. So from the B pillar, that connecting harness, trace the wires back to the connector on the module and see if, like, make sure there's continuity on the wires that should be traveling there. So, and I can't seem to reach my finger in there. It almost feels like there's an extra connector in there. Shouldn't be, though. Should be, I mean, this is fully loaded, so it should have everything in that one thing. So, comments, saw something. Robert Gibson, man, thank you. Riff Raff, what's going on, guy? RC Junkie, good afternoon. Yeah, it is afternoon already, isn't it? Wow, 1:30. You know, Raptor. Yeah, /Raptor. Kill it. Sup? What's the guy? Nothing. Dude, you know what? I'm gonna do a video. So I don't know if you can tell. I'm looking at myself here. I don't know if you can tell, I've lost a couple pounds. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. If anybody wants to, I hate calling it a diet. If anybody wants to go on a diet, if anybody wants to modify the way they eat, I mean, look at how I am. Like, I mean, I look better. I feel better. It's weird. I'm not a dieter, and this thing that I'm doing, it's not a cleanse. It's none of those things, stupid, whatever, fad diets, I think they call it. But if you really want, and what is that? Chris Watton, guy! Game over. No, there ain't no game over. Game over for Big Black? No, hell no. But if you're struggling with that COVID 15 to 20, like I was, and maybe you're struggling with a little bit of slower metabolism just due to age, this modified eating thing that I'm doing will absolutely change things. And I am actually gonna do a video. I was kind of treating myself like a guinea pig, because I'm like, I am a critic, or whatever the word is. What's the right word? When you don't believe something that people say, like, I don't know what the word is. Whatever the word is. I'm that guy. I don't believe, like, what the masses say. I always have to figure it out for myself. I'll find out for myself, and found out for myself that it actually works. Skip the junk food and snacks. Skeptic, right, Jeremy? That's, yes, very good, man. Skip the junk food and snacks. So, yes. Yes, but a little bit modified from that. It's not that easy, man. Well, I mean, it actually was. That's the weird part. I would sit down with like a bag of Doritos and eat like a whole bowl of Doritos. And I'm not talking like I'm talking a cereal bowl. And I think I realized that food, like these manufacturers, they designed food to make it so that you stay hungry. That way you eat more. And they make, the things taste a certain way so that you, like, what's it called? Crave them. And this modified way of eating that I'm doing, diet, whatever you want to call it. I got to figure out a better word than diet. Somebody coming up with a better word than diet. Diet just sounds stupid. It sounds like Slim Fast or whatever the other thing there is. Weight Watchers. I never did any kind of anything like that. I never did no diets. And this thing that I'm doing, it definitely works. Come on, guy, if it works on me, it'll work on you too. Now, obviously, if you're skinny and thin already, don't do what I'm doing, because you'll waste away to nothing. Maybe. Although I don't think so, though. I think what it's doing is it's getting rid of the fat that's on me, which is crazy. And I'm not noticing any drop in energy or anything. I mean, here and there. But as long as you drink plenty of coffee, you're good to go. All right. Well, I'm going to end this live. I'm going to continue with the big rock. I just wanted to jump in and say, hey, what's up? Figured throw on a live and then just talk to everybody for a little bit and let you know a thing or two. Then I'm out here just having a blast, ripping up a big rock, ripping up a sentin. I might toss up. I already know that poor DB Pro, that thing is suffering, man. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that DB Pro. Whether that DB Pro is going to get hung up or if I'm going to revive it. I already shimmed the diffs, man. And I think people were surprised how many more battery packs and how much abuse I got out of that thing with those differential gears being wasted like they were. Just shimming the ring and pinion together. Man, it gave that thing a ton more packs. And it seemed to work great. So anyways, this is the Guy Garage. This was live. And I'm going to get back out there and rip the big rock. So what are you guys doing today? It's my new thing. What are you doing with your lives? All right, I'm out. Thank you guys for coming. Don't forget, on the way out, come on. Let me see. Wait a minute. Cancel. 22 thumbs up, 25 people. It's got to be someone in here that doesn't give it a thumbs up. Usually somebody waits for the end. Bam. Who was that? Who did that? Who did that? Somebody gave a thumbs up. You already ripped an RC? Who did it? Who did it? Come on. 25. Wait a minute. It keeps going up. Who's doing that? Scott. Nice, dude. Thank you. Jeremy. Thank you, man. See? Do me a favor. Like, once you get on somebody's video that you enjoy or whatever, just immediately do a thumbs up, because you know what? You're going to forget. I mean, I don't forget anymore. I just literally any video I go on, if it's a person that I know and like, or even if I'm watching the content's pretty good, give them a thumbs up, man, because it does help. It plays with the algorithm and makes things just better for that person that is a content creator. All right, I'm out. Well, I don't know, did anybody see the Arrma Limitless video? Did anybody like the way I edited it? I thought it came out pretty good. I was laughing at myself. If you can laugh at yourself, that's a good day. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming.